30 minutes?
Let me ask.
Stop.
Okay, we're rolling.
We can all ask. We can all ask. We'll just switch the mic when we do.
What's
Are
your
you
name?
guys going to... Matt Zielinski,
Where do you go to school?
St. Francis High School,
Don't
What
ask.
position
Don't
do you
ask.
play?
wide receiver,
How long you been captain of the varsity team?
1 year.
So you've had a lot of strong leaders throughout your time playing all different sports. Just give me your sports history, like where you started, where you're at now, where your future plans are.
Started like at high school or...
Started from the beginning, like Pee Wee.
So I played my first year of Pee Wee football at CSRA, Carnegie Scranton. And then I went to Eden Little Loop, and I was there for a while. And once I graduated middle school, got to St. Francis, I played JV football for Coach Bill Calkins. And then my sophomore year, I got moved up to varsity with Coach Smith, and I've been under Coach Smith for the past 3 years. And then next year, I'm headed to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute to play for Coach Ralph Isernia.
So you yourself as a captain have had to experience some leadership roles. How have these strong leaders impacted your life, and what are some characteristics that they hold that you want to instill in the people you lead?
Yeah, so the two teams I've been on under Coach Smith, the captains have been Marcus Harrison, who's now at Georgia, and Will Hansen last year, who's at John Carroll playing football. And I'd say Marcus, his strongest trait was probably how boisterous he was. If you did something wrong or you weren't doing the right thing, weren't doing what Coach Smith told you, he was probably going to get in your face and tell you what you were doing wrong and how you had to fix it. Where Will was more lead by example. Will Hansen never did anything wrong. He was always the lead guy. You always looked to him for what to do. So two very different leadership styles, but both were equally as effective.
What's your biggest experience with Coach Smith? Like the first time you met him, were you scared, or how'd that play out?
First time I met Coach Smith, I was in 8th grade. I came to a spring practice, and he definitely scared me. He's very loud. He expected you to know what you were doing and how to do it and to do it right. And he was a little scary, but he was always respected. I could tell he was respected by the seniors on the team all the way down to, the 8th graders that were there already. And, the first, real experiences I had with him were sophomore year when I got moved up in the summer and started playing under him. And, I was thinking maybe I'd get eased into it. I didn't know much. I was only a sophomore. I was one of the youngest guys on the team, and that was not true at all. He threw me right into practices, live drills right away. He had me learn everything through experience going up against guys 2 or 3 years older than me, and that's definitely shaped me into the person I am today. And yeah, it's really helped me in my football career.
What makes Coach Smith different from other coaches?
I'd say the time Coach Smith puts in. During the football season, I don't think he goes home. He sleeps in his office for half of the week. And it's not only during the football season he puts in time, it's year round. With my recruiting process, if I didn't have Coach Smith, I don't know where I'd be. He introduced me to tens of maybe even 60 different coaches coming through here each year, starting the process with them, helping me year in, year out, making good decisions. So yeah, he's definitely been super impactful in my recruiting process.
Any more?
Yeah, we can just cut it out. So let's just think.
Yeah. Cool.
Have I answered good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
great.
Cool.
That's great.
Any more questions you think we should ask him? Better play in.
Don't worry.
I know you
Most-
do.
I got a bag of.
It doesn't help
Yeah,
when you
not-
make faces
not quite
when
too
I'm
much,
answering
but-
questions.
I will make you
I know you do.
I don't know.
Nanny, got any questions we can ask him?
Yeah.
Mm,
Coach Smith and why he's such a good leader. Huh?
Did you talk about how Coach Smith? Do you think did you talk about any?
How do you do that?
what?
You guys
Your
Yeah.
wrestlers do the
Do
crazy
you
shit.
think Coach Smith's a big part of that? Really? Do you think he's a determining factor?
15 or 20 or
Try
something
to do
like
a
that.
finger push-up.
Like this?
Fingertip. No, like all your fingertips. It's tough, right?
I had to
Yeah, you can go like that. Yeah.
Okay. So for Griff.
Griffin, shut your mouth.
Okay.
For both years that I've been here, we've had to face a lot of for both years that I've been here, we had to face a lot of adversity on the teams. And what could you attest to that and how Coach Smith controls the team and manages his players to keep a positive mindset?
Yeah, well, we've definitely had to face a lot of adversity. You know, Coach Smith takes us to various different states throughout the year. We play the best competition on the East Coast. And sometimes there's turmoil within the team, guys pointing fingers, doing things like that, getting upset just because they want to win so badly. And I'd say Coach Smith, he kind of faces it head on. He doesn't shy away from it. He'll tell you, like, yeah, you messed up. You're the reason why they scored a touchdown this play, that play. But Coach Smith, I think he's a big believer in giving you second chances. He's not going to run away from you right away and go to the next guy. So I think, within the team, if there's guys pointing fingers, talking to each other negatively, things like that, he'll let it happen, and then he'll make adjustments on it, and he'll talk to the team as a whole, and he'll fix whatever problem there is, whether it be in meetings, in practice, or even mid-game at halftime or in between quarters.
Our key word for this season was trust, and how did he amplify that word, and how did you look to your other players and have trust in them from what he instilled in?
Yeah, well, I'd say he amplified it by, starting to talk about it in May, before the summer even started. He made all of our sweatshirts and T-shirts. He put it on the back of our shirts. It was the big thing this year within football and even the school was brotherhood and trusting your brothers. And so I think he put us in a lot of different situations throughout the off season with our 7-on-7 tournaments and even in practice with our competitions to have trust in our teammates and our brothers. We went down and played in a 7-on-7 tournament right here in Williamsville North, I think, and we lost like second round, and we expected to win the whole thing. We were predicted to win the whole thing. And Coach Smith let us have it, and he took us down to Syracuse 2 weeks later, and we won the whole New York State 7-on-7 tournament. So, just having trust in your brothers and knowing they're going to make the right play or the right move or the right decision at any time throughout the game helped us win 10 games and finish number 1 in Western New York this year.
2 seasons ago, we had a team that lacked the size, the ability, the speed, and we still did really, really well. What do you think the reasons are that we did so well?
I would say we did so well is because of our brotherhood and how connected we were. That was a different team than we've had at St. Francis for the past 4 or 5 years that I've been here. We've always had top guys, new guys coming in, guys who have gone to Division I schools, been really talented. And we had a lot of talent that year, but we also lacked a lot. We didn't have a very big team. We were undersized on the line. We didn't have very much depth either. And we had a lot of new guys coming in, a lot of new fresh faces and new experience to varsity. And I think the best thing that we had was just everyone loved everyone. There was no groups, there was no cliques. Everyone was friends with everyone. Everyone knew each other's name. They knew each other's families. They knew they would be able to talk to them and have real serious conversations with them. And that's kind of what gave us success that season because of what we lacked in.
And I can attest to that because I transferred in, and I became one of the team leaders along with you. We had a lot of guys transfer in this past season. Trent, Tyrone, Dom, all these guys transferred in, and they helped build the team that we had last year. How did we manage to stay so close even though we were all from all over the state?
Yeah, so that was, obviously something I think a lot of guys who were originally here from the season before that were worried about, new guys coming in, the team not being as close as they previously were, there being different cliques, different groups within the team. And I think the way we handled that was we accepted the guys into the St. Francis football family as soon as they stepped on the field. Everyone introduced themselves, everyone, got to know each other. We were always, everyone showed up in the summer off season, whether it was lifts in the morning or at night, and practices on Monday nights along with OTAs. There was just a lot of togetherness, and I think that's what really brought us together. And even though we were all fresh and we were all new, we really got to connect and, assemble that brotherhood that we had the season before.
just thinking.
You're good.
Why do you think other high school students are so attracted to transferring, or enrolling into St. Francis?
Do you mean like students as in like athletes or just students in general?
Yeah, no, like athletes,
Okay.
other student athletes.
I would say, obviously I'd say this new weight room that we have, but we just got this. So I would probably say how much we win at St. Francis, specifically in football under Coach Smith. Over the past 5 years, we've won 4 Monsignor Martin championships, and we kind of have that mentality that we're going to win every year. And we have coaches like Coach Smith and even Coach Otremba, and we have coaches who have been here forever. We have great longevity within our coaching staff. And the same thing is expected every year, nothing less than a Monsignor Martin championship. And we expect to go to the state championship every year. And I think people see that, and they see that what we talk about and what we preach, we actually do compared to a lot of other schools. And I think that's what's so attractive to them.
What are the things that Coach Smith does outside of the football field, outside of the weight room, like things he does in the classroom, in the hallway, that really make him more than just a good coach, but a great human and a great leader?
Yeah, Coach Smith, he's a funny guy throughout the halls. He makes a lot of jokes to guys, whether they're his, players or even students or even just guys he knows from seeing them throughout the halls. He's a particularly funny guy, making a lot of jokes. And along with that, he treats every player or student or person he's been close with as a son. He'll do anything for you. He'll drive you to school if you need a ride. He says, if you ever need me, he gives everyone his phone number. You can call him at all hours of the day or night, and he'll be there for you. And I think that, he lives true to that. And, if guys need anything, they're going to reach out to him because he's done it for them for years on end, or however long he's been here. So I think that's what makes him more than just a coach or a teacher or anything,
What has Coach Smith done specifically for you, or do you have a story specifically with him on the field or off the field?
Yeah. Oh, this is tough. Sorry, give me a second.
No,
Yeah.
Take your time.
I already talked about. There's a lot of grunting. Wow. I already talked about recruiting, right?
Talk about everything.
Yeah. I guess I could talk. Okay, I got something. Just maybe, do you want to rephrase the question, or should I just go ahead?
What do you want me to say? I can say it. It's not my question's not
Your
going to be in
question.
it.
Oh, okay then. Yeah.
So like kind of just like
It
when
will-
you answer the question, like kind of say like repeat the question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What was the exact question again?
Oh,
it was
like
what has Coach Smith done to
specifically like give me a story that he's done,
Okay.
or something great that he's done, or how
Yeah.
his legacy will impact you. Or something like
Okay. So a story I have with Coach Smith where he's impacted me in a positive way, but also a harsh way, is my sophomore year. We were playing in a tight game against McDowell out of Erie, and I was in the game, and I thought my lineup got called off, so I went to the sideline. I heard wrong, and I was supposed to be out there. He had to call a timeout and waste a timeout for my mistakes. So he said, "Who's supposed to be out there?" And it was me, and I owned up to it. And he grabbed me by the face mask, and he said some things to me that I probably can't say on here, but he put me back out there, and I was able to make some plays. And I think just that's one of the small little stories that everyone has been through within St. Francis football. Coach Smith will be extremely harsh on you, but he teaches you how to be a true young man and how to face adversity and how to do things the right way.
Cool. Anything? Rory?
I think we're good. It's a lot of time.
I think we're good.
All
Thank
right,
you.
cool. Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate everything you did for us. Can you listen to the mic?
I love Rory White.
I hate
And Willie Worketter and Cole Hesley and the Griffin LaPlante.